I pulled a JJ and had myself muted like a monkey.
Boy, we are off to a ravaging start tonight.
Clean, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us here at Proficiency Bonus. As my players all quit and run away. So as you can see, as normal, we're a couple of minutes behind and not without our share of technical faux pas, but welcome to another Monday night here as we continue our journey through the land of Chult, heading ever closer towards, well, wherever the party is heading this week. At some point at the goal, there might be a tomb involved. Before we jump into what happened last week, a couple of shout-outs to get through. First, as you guys have come used to hearing, a lot of thanks to Many-Sided Dice for their wonderful Lost Artifacts of Grey Gas and Magical Items Compendium for D&D 5e. Hey, JJ's actually got his hard-copied cover of the book out there. We had one raffled off a couple of weeks ago that should already be in the possession of its new owner. Hope if you have that and you're here with us this evening, you are enjoying it. Another big shout out to Team MZ. They do a lot to support small streamers like us. A great community out there on Twitter, as well as they've got a Discord server. A couple of good places you can find them. Thank you to Nightshade Creations. They do tabletop and actual real world accessories for your tabletop games. And then a final shout out, well, actually, no, sorry, there's two left. One, Streamlabs, who we are now officially partnered with. They do a lot of the tools and little pop-ups and things you see that our Ms. Producer Sarah here, as well as Christy Mystic Water on Thursday nights for the Mystic Hour, and Michael on our Friday night streams use. And then the newest one is we are now officially partnered with a wonderful Kickstarter by Flying Horse Duck that is doing a milled metal 60-sided die that is actually built to be any one of your standard dice. So it can be a D4, D20, D8, but it's a large metal 60-sided one that you can use for all your home games. So definitely check them out. You can find them by typing !dice in the Twitch chat, as I have just done. Copy the link, it'll bring you right over to their Kickstarter. And then... Okay, got a little confused by our chat. So with that being said, we will jump head first into, well, last time, as our party awoke, well, rather some of our party awoke, most notably Quen, seeing a strange multicolored portal floating above Tuala's head, or Tuala's tent, and two small glowing orbs of light come down and start circumnavigating his tent. They proceeded to start poking around, try to figure out what was wrong, got into a little altercation as they attempted to move him with these small creatures, but as they didn't really seem to be able to lay a hand on anyone in our party, the battle, although it took a few moments, seemed to go fairly one-sided, only to find our barbarian comatose. They wandered through the jungle, still heading southwards, and running into a group of somewhat hungry, dehydrated explorers, one of who happened to be some form of a magic user, who, after casting an Identify spell and reaching out and touching the head of Tuala, advised the party that he was currently under the effect of a very high-level magical spell called Astral Projection. That he didn't seem to be in any immediate threat, and that he would return back to his body at a time, as the old man put it, of his choosing. Yes, unless Gizzard eats him first. So, as we went through, as Gizzard has pointed out in chat, even though he was not technically here last week, Gizzard did make multiple attempts to eat our barbarian, with actually taking a nibble at one of his feet.
That's not gonna happen. You're gonna get real bad indigestion.
So...
Oh, it's all gristle.
all gristly and some some toenail fungus. Who knows what else? He's walking around barefoot in the jungle, man. You don't know what's growing under them.
It's actually
So,
a lot better than the things I usually eat. So
fair enough. So, with that being said, we'll jump right back into our story. Only a couple of days ago, as Tuala, you find yourself
Thank you for
This-
hosting the stream, Dice
a
Bard.
somewhat familiar, somewhat alien sensation of feeling your being pulled from within your body. As you watch, as you leave your body and you see this shimmering portal appearing above you, as you pass through this portal into a heavily forested area, following a patchwork stone path just floating mere feet from the ground. Being pulled closer along the side of you, you see massive stone statues. They appear to be Stormborn. Storm-touched individuals. One on either side. You travel floating forward 30, 50 feet, and you watch as the path opens into what appears to be a fairly decent-sized circular clearing. In the clearing, coming in from each of the four corners of this circular clearing. From the northwest, you see very dry, rough ground. The southeast, a somewhat rough, looks to be almost like the shore of the sea, but it's in the middle of the forest, but you can see small waves forming on the surface of this water. To the southwest corner, you see what can only be described as the inside of a volcano. Liquid magma and fire curling across itself. But as you turn and look, even the trees not 3 or 4 feet away from it don't seem to be catching. And on the northeast side, the ground is just appears to be a barren plain, but you can see the short grass blowing as if a strong breeze is blowing through, yet you feel no wind. In front of you, 3 shadowy figures standing there. Again, somewhat familiar as you've seen these before, but elusive to you. Each of them looking at you. One, a turquoise colored skin with little patches, hair tied back similar to so many in your tribe, but almost a green, almost the same green as the seaweed or algae. Standing next to him, another individual, female with deep ruby-colored skin, eyes bright orange as embers, hair pulled back in one long ponytail from the top, sides clean shaven. And beside her, another looks to be older female. Skin almost a gray tone. Hair about shoulder length, wild and unkept. It seems to constantly be moving around. The 3 of them focusing, the 3 faces turn to focus on you as you enter. And without movement of the lips, without any motion, you hear a voice, non-corporeal, just carrying throughout the clearing, coming down to you. So once more you have returned. Still seeking your goal, still seeking the Soul Forge, are we?
Do I have my glaive with me in my astral form?
Yeah, as you look at... You felt this before. You know you're not 100% there, but as you look around, you see that everything you'd expect to be with you, it seems to be. As you reach back, you feel the glaive still on your back.
So I pull it forward and kind of jam it hard onto the ground, kind of like clack, and look around to the three figures. Speak plainly and name yourself.
To all, we have been through this so many times. And every time you ask the same questions.
Perhaps I am not a fan of the theatrics. I was having a lovely dream before this. I dreamt I was a butterfly. I should very much like to get back to that dream. So out with it, so that I can tell you to be gone, and we can be on our way.
Butterfly, you say? I see more the caterpillar for you. You have so much potential yet to be unleashed. How is your mother doing back home? Such a proud, powerful woman. Has she started to succumb yet?
What concern of that is yours?
As we have talked before, dear boy, I am merely seek to ensure that the Soul Forge is dealt with and removed. Perhaps, if you'd aid me in this, we could do so in time to save your mother.
I should think you would know well enough by now. I trust nothing that you say.
This may be true, but I see you have found new friends as well to travel with. How sure are you that I did not send them to you? How sure are you that I am not among them right now? Perhaps this is all a part of the plan for you to get what we both need. You still carry the glaive.
The glaive has been passed down among my people since time immemorial. It is my birthright.
Yes, as it was every one of my lovely statues you've passed on the way here. They have all carried the glaive, as do all storm-touched.
Fine. I'll entertain you. If not for the fact that it should distract me from this illusion you have set up. What is it that you think that you want from me?
Now we seem to be getting somewhere, and as you watch the three figures start to coalesce and shrink into one smaller figure, only 6 or 7 inches taller than yourself. But even as you look at it, you watch as the figure sort of almost fluidly is shifting between the three of them, never settling on one face for more than a couple of moments. I have many shall we call them friends, in the realm of Chult. And suffice to say that not all of them are on their first run through, if you take my meaning. And this nasty little bit with the Soul Forge is causing some concerns. For that to be removed, it would greatly aid in their endeavors in the area. As well would aid your own mother, if I'm not mistaken.
Take care.
Oh, no disrespect meant, my dear boy. It's just... You will need help where you're going, and that is what I'm offering you. Just a simple offer of aid.
You speak of the Soul Forge, and you speak as if it is connected to the curse of death upon this land, the curse that you seem to know plagues my chieftain and my mother. What is this Soul Forge?
This Soul Forge is a device being used by a being of minor magical power to me, really, but nonetheless a headache that I seem to be ill-prepared to deal with myself. It will... If one removes said device or disables it, it will remove the effect. Likewise, should you be able to locate it, and if you are accepting of the help I've offered, I could potentially help you remove it from your realm and make disposing of it that much easier.
If the mastermind behind this device, as you say, is of such minor magical ability compared to yourself, why is it that you need me?
My time on the plane material is most limited, and while I have rough ideas of where he is holed up near the peaks of flame, it would be far too much trouble for me to go hunting him around, and then by the time I realize where he is, my time would be up. If I can find a stout, powerful gentleman like yourself who is familiar with this area, well, that would make the search much simpler for you, and now that you've made friends with... there's the Fey one, that one's a little interesting to me, but some of the others are just... that lizard is a little odd and downright entertaining.
The tree demon has his quirks, as do they all. But I judge them to be good people. And I know your kind well enough not to be lured by your honeyed tones and words of interest and curiosity. You are dangerous. This is known to my people.
Oh, but of course, if I wasn't dangerous, there'd be no fun in it for you. But you travel with Faye right now, my dear boy. We are all danger of one kind or another. Just look at your people, so powerful and martial. For most people, if two or three of you ran up on them, there would be no fight in them. It would just be over. Choose your danger, and you choose where to have fun with it.
So Tuala is quiet for a long while. He seems to be thinking. And at last... You have information that will lead to the end of the death curse that plagues these lands. And you offer assistance in this matter in exchange for what exactly?
Your assistance for some of my allies in the area. As I said, a few of them had passed at one point, and through a little nudge from me, found their way back to the realm of the living. As now that this nasty little curse is involved, they find themselves growing weaker and weaker, much as so many do in the land. I seek to have the curse ended, and if one of my friends comes to you in need of aid, your assistance for them. Barring, of course, that they mean no harm to you or your people.
Should I accept your aid, I desire assurance that our bargain will be one exclusively limited to your assistance in locating the source of the death curse, for my assistance in destroying it. I need to be sure that your oh so delicate words bear no hidden clauses. Stories of your kind's love of bargaining never ends well for the mortal. I would not even be entertaining this discussion if not for my mother's condition.
But of course, I understand completely, and yes, I can definitely offer my assurances that the offer of my assisting you, in the instance of you assisting me with this little problem of the death curse, and as spoken, if one of my followers in need of aid, you would aid them. For that, I will give you as much knowledge as I possess as to where this individual currently resides, as well as a small token of my appreciation to help aid in your coming trials.
And I have your word that no harm will come to the Aluahe tribe, or to any of my companions who I'm now traveling with.
With that, you see the three faces sort of almost half grin. As I have said, I make no moves on your tribe, and I will more than gladly give my word of avoiding your current traveling companions, but as you know very well, this is Chult, my dear boy Tuala, and you are going to a dangerous place. I can make no claims for what happens to them through their own actions.
I'm gonna roll a insight.
Okay.
See how just like I'm already kind of suspicious.
Yeah, it's
There, it's kind of full of shit.
Yeah, you get the feeling that while you don't trust the individual, you get the feeling that there's not a direct malice, or not a sense of malice directed towards you, the tribe, or your compatriots. You sort of get an indifference. If they walked off a cliff, hey, not my problem, pal. I didn't push him, but at the same way, not going to go out of the way to prevent something.
Okay. So again, he's quiet for a long while. And he finally, with sort of a grim, humorless smile, says, how many times have we had this conversation, and how many times have I denied you? It seems I am finally pressed up against a wall in a position where you have something worthwhile that I must risk accepting your bargain, Fey creature.
Oh, then it sounds as if we have a deal. Is that correct? One hand comes out, and as you watch, the hand still slowly shimmering between the three different skin tones as you keep seeing the same cycling of the other forms that the storm touched have taken in the past.
I slowly extend my hand as well, and I say, though I have no doubt that I will live to rue it, we have a deal. I grab the shake
And that's it. And immediately as your hand clasps this individual, the first thing you notice as you reach in is your hand seems to go through the hand that keeps shimmering and stalls for a second, but you realize all of a sudden you grab hold to a much thinner, more slender hand than you were expecting. And as your hands clasp, you feel a jolt travel up your arm and into your chest. And then everything fades to black.
Okay, as I'm I'm fading away, he just kind of mutters into the blackness, assuming whether the creature can hear him or not. He says, "By my honor, creature, if I find that your bargaining has not been straight, I will watch the light fade from your eyes if it is the last thing I do before I go into the great beyond. Rest assured of this."
As you fade into darkness, we pick up a few days later as our group has been slowly making their way southbound, as Tuala has been comatose now for a number of days, and some of our party may or may not have tried to gnaw on one of his feet. The group finds themselves coming to consciousness for another day. The sun creeping over the the canopy off in the distance, past the floating mountain, the heart of Ubtao, is Devaney once more is watching the sun come up as everyone's starting to come to consciousness. Devaney, you would be the first to notice it as you are already awake, that Tuala, who you have been leaving laying on the ground as he has been comatose and did not want to leave him laying in Stephanie,
No.
as you're noticing as the sun's creeping over, Tuala's starting to move.
I'll go over, make sure he's actually right with the world. Maybe help him sit up. It's been a while.
So I look up as Devaney comes over, blink a few times. Metal elf. Why does one of my feet hurt?
Renee, grin, extend an arm. I tried. I honestly tried. I couldn't watch you all the time, but sorry.
So I'll take the offered hand and kind of stiffly get up. And kind of inspect myself. Did Gizzard gnaw off any of my digits while I was out?
Just the top of the pinky toe.
So as you notice, you do have probably like, I won't really say a chunk of your toe missing, but it looks like if you gave yourself a really nasty cut, you've got a decent chunk of flesh missing off the bottom of your pinky toe.
And some hesitant bite marks. Like, he tried eating me but couldn't.
That's
he
from
looks
Solana.
Before
The
Devaney
hesitant
probably noticed and chased him away.
I look for a second. Tree demon! And I stomp towards wherever his tent might be.
Devaney's palms on her forehead. Like, oh no.
You are awake. That is a shame. I wanted to try your fingers next.
Are you an animal man? You do not chew on people while they're unconscious!
I am a lizard. And it is common for our race to eat our dead. You had not been awake for many days, so I thought you were dead.
Ha! Well, I knew that he would come back. Didn't I tell all of you? He's strong as an ox, this one.
Thank you, fanciful one. And you!
It's tasty as an ox, too.
If I do die, feel free to consume me if it suits you. But make damn sure first! Stomps off.
Well, someone's
I have
getting
his
their
blessing.
Well, yeah, that's true. I make porridge.
And he, as he's like stomping off to nowhere in particular, he like yells behind his back. He's like, "And the rest of you, make sure I'm dead before you let him eat me."
We poked you a couple times.
He was still breathing. We knew you weren't dead.
He looked
Because
pretty
you
dead.
knew he wasn't dead. You just wanted to eat him.
I did.
Yeah, thought as much.
Are you talking?
What else is new? So Solana's making breakfast this morning, and what is everyone else doing?
Despite the happy occasion of Tuala waking up and all, Melik is in kind of a dour mood, and he is also going to kind of take a little breakfast snack from the preparations and then just kind of walk away and have a little walk for a couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
Quen notices this, as I imagine that Quen and Melik often eat breakfast together and just kind of be ridiculous in the mornings. So he would notice and would grab the same thing and then would walk and, not be too brash, but, just kind of just hold space with Melik.
Okay, Devaney, Gizzard.
Devaney would be waiting around the fire to wait for the final product of breakfast and then just enjoy it.
Okay.
Guess what,
Gizzard's
guys?
pretending to eat
It's
porridge.
porridge.
Yeah.
Yup.
Gizzard's pretending to eat it, but he's just throwing it over his shoulder.
Are you trying to hide this fact, or are you just pretty much
Nah, not in the slightest. I'm looking Solana right in the eye, and I go to take a spoonful, then I just throw the spoonful over my shoulder.
You know, that's disrespectful to some people, like the people that prepared that, like me. I made that for you to be nourishing and delicious.
Gizzard, if you didn't want it, why did you take a bowlful?
Everyone else was doing it.
Twelve hasn't had any yet.
That is a good point.
I throw the bowl away. Or I just lay it down next to me and I throw it. Ugh. And I'm going to go in search of some fresh meat.
Okay, go ahead and make a survival check for me. Alrighty then. And, Twelve, I know you said you're walking off. Anything in specific you'd be doing at the moment, or just...
Nah, he's real mad about his toe. He just goes and stops at the edge of camp and just sits down. And he's contemplating his recent experience.
Okay. So, Gizzard, go ahead and do me a favor. Roll 2d100. Hope we get lucky with 1 or 2 here.
Do not eat the bunny corn.
Okay, so there's 1 and 2. Perfect. So let's see what we got here. Okay. 8.
If you eat a bunny corn, I'm gonna be so mad.
And... Alrighty then. So, pick a number, 1 or 2, Gizzard.
Always number 2.
Alrighty then. So let's see what Gizzard finds his way into this morning. Okay, so as you start wandering around here. Okay. You manage to find little ways off, sitting somewhat lazily in, somewhat submerged in one of the deeper parts of the basin. You see what appears to be the head of 2 or 3 giant frogs, just barely sticking out through the water. At the moment, they don't seem to have noticed you as of yet. You're still too far away.
Well, I am definitely into frogs. Yeah, I'm gonna try and silently approach them. I'm gonna take the spear off my back and get ready to poke him.
Okay. So is your if you go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Done.
Alrighty then. So yeah, you're managed to get pretty much right up on top of the 3 of them, and as you're getting closer, you're realizing these things are pretty large. They're about the same size as you.
Even better.
But they don't seem to notice you. There's 3 of them in the water within, basically within 5 or 6 feet of each other. Seem to have no inkling you're there at the moment.
Alright, what I want to do is take a little bit of a running start and attempt to jump onto the back of one of the frogs and drive my spear into it.
Okay. So, easy enough to start running, and go ahead and make an either athletics or acrobatics check for your jump, and then go ahead and roll me an attack.
Yikes.
It's not that bad. They're submerged in the water.
Also yikes.
Although, well, actually, because surprise, you would have advantage, so that would hit. So go ahead and roll your damage. Okay. So with this, and oh my word, this is what life is like having a toddler. He stole my dang pencil.
If you're talking about me, which is basically the same.
I thought you were talking about Gizzard too. Trader.
No, my 3-year-old at the house stole my pencil. So, okay, my notes for tonight are being done in Sharpie. Congratulations, Gizzard's a permanent problem now. Okay, so as you land on top of one of them, you sink the spear right into the back of it. And actually, is surprise an auto crit if it hits? I can't remember. I think it might be.
I mean, I'm happy to say
Anyone?
yes,
Let
but
me ask the other idea. Matt, is surprise hit an automatic crit? Do you know? I think he wandered off. Okay, 189.
I think surprise is advantage.
Yeah, I just can't remember. I know there's something that if it... Oh, maybe it's if you're unconscious, it's the auto crit.
yeah, I'll just take the advantage. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to use this spear as like a bargaining point to hoist myself onto the back of the frog, so I can
So you're
control it.
easily
like
on the you're easily on the back of it. But with that being said, I need you to go ahead and roll initiative, as all 3 of them are now aware of your presence as you've leapt and driven the spear into the back of these. Now, what I'm going to do is have everyone else go ahead and click on your token and roll initiative. At the moment, you have no clue that Gizzard is in the middle of this battle, but you never know what Gizzard's going to do, and when you guys might all of a sudden get, a sudden cry for help. So we will just have our
I don't have a token on the map.
frogs. Oh, whoops! I apologize. I forgot I didn't drag you on because you weren't here last week.
I was in the Feywild.
There we go.
Spoiler alert.
Okay. So I'll let Dwala get his rolled, and then okay.
Oh hell yeah!
So we're gonna. Oh, and of course, everybody rolls so freaking well, and nobody has a clue what's going on for Gizzard at the moment. So we are going to jump from here right into. Actually, no, we'll go here because it's just Gizzard, and for some reason, this seems to just have a little more Gizzard flair to me. Okay, so we're going to jump right down as Gizzard has not cried out or anything. He was silent, jumping and slamming into this giant frog. So, let's see. Gizzard, you were going to take... Well, actually... So 2 of them are going to try to bite you, and the one that is on your back is going to basically just try to do like a barrel roll into the water to try to knock you off of him. So the first 2 are the bite attacks. We have a 15.
Nope.
And a 16.
Nope.
Okay. And then, Sarah, go ahead and try reconnecting, because I have
Oh, okay.
Devonay's up now.
Oh, okay, I will.
Gizzard and Twala, when you guys have a second, if you can try reconnecting to your cameras.
I got them.
Got it.
Oh, you got them? Okay, so I'll try reconnecting in a second. And then the third one, go ahead and make, we'll do this as opposed strength checks, Gizzard.
You want to strike strength or athletics?
You can do athletics if you want to hold on. Okay, so is it does like this little roll into the water and then posture check up on its feet, and you are still on its back with your spear embedded in it, and that brings us to you.
All right, now it's my turn to bite. I'm still grasping onto the spear, and I'm going to lean down and take a chunk out of the neck of the frog I'm sitting on.
Okay. That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. Okay.
And why not go in for more entrees?
That'll hit.
What's with all these? I've rolled 3 1s for damage now.
Okay, it is still on its feet, but you can see as you keep ripping chunks out of the back of its neck There is just blood seeming to pour out of it, but it is still on its feet at the moment.
Alrighty, I'm gonna spend a key point and make 2 unarmed strikes at it.
Alrighty then.
So the first one, I just drive my elbow down into the top of its head.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll damage. Okay, and that'll hit, and as you hit, you watch as you're holding on to the spear in its back. It goes limp and starts to sort of sink a little ways under the water as your weight is sort of pushing it down as it is no longer breathing.
Alright, and with my arm still on the spear, I'm going to use it to hoist myself up and kind of project my leg out into the face of the frog to my right, which is attempting to bite me.
And that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
Another one. What?
Okay. So, and anything else you're doing?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. So as this is going on, the rest of our
wouldn't call him out.
tried to give him an option to. So that brings us back to the frogs. So the first one's going to try to take a bite out of you again. That is a 19.
That doesn't hit.
It doesn't?
I got a 20.
Okay. The next one is going to take a bite as well, and that's a 15, so that won't hit. That'll bring us back around to Gizzard.
Alright, using the momentum with my hand still on the spear, I'm going to go around to the one on the left and strike with my feet again.
Okay. So that'll hit.
Oh, that's better.
Okay, it's not bleeding as much as the other one was, but you definitely see it is in just as rough shape.
And like a totem tennis pole, because it's like a ball just spinning around on this spear, and a leg to the one on the right. That definitely misses.
Okay, no, that is wide, as it just sort of moves a little bit out of the way as you sail past it. Anything
and with
else?
the momentum, I'm going to attempt to dive on the frog to my left, and spend a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes at it.
Okay. Ooh,
Yeah.
that'll hit.
I like that. Oh, another one.
Okay. Now, is this the same as the first one you hit, or is this the other one?
This is the one on my left, so
Okay.
yes, it'll be the first one I hit for the
Yep.
10 damage.
So as you connect with that, that one falls, and you watch as the body starts to float in the water.
And with my second attack, I'm just going to give it a quick swipe across the face with my claws.
Okay. And that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. Hey, getting better. It is still on its feet. That is going to bring us back around to it, as the party still has no idea what's going on. And it's going to... Let's see here. Okay, it's going to sort of move around you a little bit, sort of try to circle you, and then reach out for another bite and miss wildly again, as just can't seem to get a good grasp on you.
Alright, I'm staring this thing down like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World. I'm looking at it. I'm going to dive at it and attempt to bite.
But you're a giant lizard.
Just like Chris Pratt.
And that'll hit. So go ahead and roll some damage.
Chris Pratt, Lizard Man conspiracy confirmed? Oh my god, you guys, you heard it here first.
Okay, so yeah, both will hit. Go ahead and roll some damage. Oh, you already rolled one? Okay, Gizzard, how do you want to do this?
Alright, with Oh, jeez. With this final bite, as you've all seen before, although you're not here, jaw dislocates, goes wide as possible. I'm gonna just bite the jugular out of this frog, get as big a bite as I can, and just rip it and just swallow it whole. And then just look real satisfied with myself.
That was fun. Getting back to my roots.
So with that, as you tear out this thing's jugular, and there is just blood and ichor pouring down the front of you. And as you say, looking quite satisfied, and it's made very short work of 3 giant frogs.
There is no finer delicacy than frog legs, so I'm going to attempt to harvest them and drag them all back to camp.
Throat leeches, people. Throat leeches. Why doesn't anyone learn?
Houston's never had throat leeches.
Matt, never make us roll initiative for that crap again. What a waste of energy.
I was hoping JJ might, but you know, I should have known better.
121 I'm gonna roll tonight, and it's gonna be 6s from here on out.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good initiative. That was a 20. Usually I roll under 10.
You do usually roll under 10, so that was pretty good.
There's Gizzard, go ahead and make a survival check for me. Okay, it takes you probably about a half an hour or so, but you managed to harvest what you were looking for out of the frogs and make your way back to camp.
Dragging them back in both hands, like really struggling. And I got a mouthful of like frog gullet when I
Ew.
approach the rest of the group.
And as he's walking up, you guys can see there is just thick blood at this point now somewhat dried down the front of his neck onto his chest. He is just looking a little nasty at the moment.
Gross.
Honestly,
out of
Melik
line.
is currently appreciating the normalcy. This feels like back to form.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Like, Quen doesn't think anything's up.
So you want me to cook one of those or something?
We just
I have
breakfast.
second breakfast for everyone. Frog legs.
Oh, thank you. That's such a
Get to the
hobbit
point.
thing.
I look at all the blood that he has dragged all over the campsite, and I say, "Do you want jaguars? Because this is how you get jaguars."
That could be a nice side dish. Good point.
I attempt to start making jaguar calls.
Okay, he's attempting now. Go ahead.
Go ahead and make a performance check, Gizzard.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
You make a couple of calls and you don't hear any response as of yet.
I heard a very sick jaguar once that sounded much like that.
I do not want skinny jaguars. Nice full-size and meaty ones. Oh well, perhaps another time.
And I dig into one of the frog legs. I
Does
just sit
anyone
down
wanna-
cross-legged.
Cooked frog leg, I guess?
No
Yeah,
thanks.
you know what? The handful of blueberries I nabbed on the way out might not be enough, so if you want to cook up a little bit of it, I'll eat some, Solana.
I'll cook up a frog leg. Thank you, Gizzard.
Their response. I'm
Okay.
neck deep in frog leg.
And I guess we'll put the others in the boat for later when I can make them into frog leg jerky, because we jerk.
If they are
everything.
clean.
When I clean them, then I jerky them.
Thank you.
I cook them, and I clean them. Well, I clean them, then I cook them.
We can just put them in the bag, I think. We don't have to have them touch the boat.
They're
As long
bloody.
as they're not in there too long and they rot.
They're bloody.
Just-
No, they're not going in the
Just can't
bag.
forget about them.
Don't put them in the Fabio. They're bloody.
In the brain. It's in the brain. We're not putting. They're not touching the boat. They're not touching.
You can put them in Fabio too.
Perfect.
Fine, we'll put them in the Fabio. Okay.
We have 2 Fabios. Fabio 2. We can put them in
You
there.
have 2 Fabios?
Yeah.
What? Where have I been?
And we got the second one from the Mummy Lord.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
Yes, you were.
I mean,
Solana.
I was there for that. I totally
Anyways.
remember now. Oh, silly
Second Fabio it
Solana.
is.
So as you guys finish up breakfast and make your way through your morning preparations, the day is yours. What is the group looking to do?
Let's continue on down south.
Yeah, Quen's bound and determined to hightail it out of Dodge. I'm tired of this swamp.
It does not have a pleasant odor.
So as you guys start getting things prepped for the day, and what is everyone's, who's taking point on your travel arrangements?
Me and Quen will take care of it, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and make a survival check for me.
With advantage, yay!
Thank God for bookmark.
I know, right?
There have been a couple of times you guys would be just wandering around in circles around your camp. So, you seem to have no difficulty getting things started up. So as Solana and Quen are taking point on the journey, or the travel arrangements, what would the rest of you be doing? Devaney, Melik, Gizzard, Tuala?
Melik is cozying in pretty hard today. He's a bit pensive and is just gonna kind of pluck a little bit on the old fiddle. It's a little quiet, but in a better mood than when he woke up this
The
morning.
crazy fiddle or the regular fiddle?
Oh my god, the regular one! I'm not here to start anything.
Okay, good.
Devaney will.
Gizzard's... Go on.
Okay, Devaney is going to update Tual on what he missed, and then ask him where he was.
Yeah, tell everyone where you were. Mentally. Spiritually.
It is perhaps a tale best saved for this evening when we make camp.
But we've 8 hours on this boat. Literally. So, you know, you can talk.
Very well. Whimsical one.
That one's Quen, just in case you guys didn't know.
Alright, I was like, because you used
You're
fanciful earlier for
fanciful.
Quinn.
I messed it up. It's my fault.
It's okay, you were just out of a coma.
Yeah, I did suffer an out-of-body experience.
So Malik's the fanciful one. What's
Quen is whimsical.
the whimsical one? Yeah, he is.
This is a whimsical one. You are of the Fae in some way, are you not?
Yeah. What's it to ya?
I describe. I want to like try and describe as best I can the this Fae entity that has been like manifesting itself to Tuala since he's younger, and see if Quen like kind of knows maybe even knows something about it? Who it is? Anything like that? I don't know what his. Tual doesn't know what his knowledge of the Fae and fairies are and stuff.
A fae? Boring. Well, I'll tell you what. So, what did it look like, the place you're at? Like, was it like wintry? Was it summery? Was it autumn? Was it springtimey? What did it look like?
It had a habit of creating illusory surroundings that I believe he felt would endear itself to me.
And I guess DM, throughout the course of Tuala's interaction with this entity over the years, would he know does it have any proclivities towards any type of seasonal theme?
Seasonal, not would be hard for you to gauge that based on things that Tuala would have noticed through all the different times. Is there were always leaves on all the trees in the area. The leaves were always green. If anything, you'd say probably like a mid to late spring or early summer, like when the leaves on the trees are brightest and lushest, full of life.
Okay.
But again, no real sign of like budding flowers and other things you'd really think of with like a springtime theme.
Okay.
Most of it is during your travels or your visits there, so to speak, was always lined as you saw the trees more of it's an outlier. Think of it like tunnel vision. Everything's looking forward and you just sort of vaguely see these trees on the outskirts. With every like 15 feet, another massive statue of what you imagine to be supposed to be images of your ancestors or your forebears as storm touched.
Okay. So I relay all that to Quinn.
It sounds silly to me, but it also sounds really powerful. You sure you didn't take any weird deals? Did you eat any weird bread? Have you eaten anything on your trips there? Because that's like rule number 1. Like, don't eat anything. Like you said.
No, I ate nothing. The entity, whatever it is, whoever it is, has been omnipresent throughout my life. It always has wanted something of me, assistance with one thing or another. But the Fae are known to my people. They are known their dangers.
Yes, they
I
are
have
very dangerous.
always denied him, but this time he had information and leverage, which forced my hand.
So you already made a deal with him.
I did. I agreed to
Well,
lend my assistance in ending the death curse in exchange for information and assistance from he and his kind to find it and to destroy it.
Tuala looks extraordinarily unhappy about this.
I see. It's very unsettling. But don't be scared. I think it's fine, really. It doesn't seem too horrible. Or it might just look that way because it's actually incredibly horrible.
Yes, these are the stories that my people tell of the fairies. I extracted assurances from the creature that the people of my tribe and the group of you, even the tree demon, will come to no harm. I fully expect that in one way or another the creature desires my end from our bargain, but I am honor-bound to protect these lands and to end the death curse, so that is the burden that I've shouldered.
Well, it sounds like the burden you're shouldering is potentially for the greater good, and what you're doing already, right?
That is my logic as well. It mentioned the peaks of flame. This is not known to me. Is it perhaps a clue or a location in these lands that would lead us to the source of what it referred to as the... Actually, I forgot what it referred to it as now. The spell something or other?
Death curse?
No, Tuala calls it the death curse. The seed calls it something else.
Soul Forge.
The Soul Forge.
It referred to it as the Soul Forge and mentioned the peaks of flame. These pieces of information seemed important to me. Does this mean anything to any of you?
So I'm gonna dig out the map. I'm not sure who has it at the moment, but I'll dig it out and show Tuala the X where we think Omu is, and that we got confirmation it was most likely in this area, and say, this is where we're ultimately heading. This is a best start as we can find. There's a city here. A lost city.
And these mountains here, beside this lost city, these are perhaps the peaks of flame, which
Yes.
the entity
We were
spoke of.
also told by our the lost group that we met yesterday to do our best to avoid the Valley of Lost Honor, as there's a powerful being that lives there that protects them, and it's just not best to mess with that.
Interesting.
As you all are looking closely at each other and having this conversation, all of a sudden, Solana, your hair flits a little to the side. Almost as if someone just sort of ran their fingers past it.
Davy Jones? No? Uh-oh.
And then a couple of seconds later, Gizzard, you feel a little splash of water from, almost like someone put their hand in the water and just, dipped their fingers a little bit and then splashed it up at you.
Who was that? You get my egg wet.
They hunch over my egg.
Quen splashes too.
So it was you? Did you touch my hair?
No,
Okay.
just playing along. I'm just playing along.
With who?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Maybe some.
If we're not
Guys,
doing
can we,
those, who is?
Can we not pull pranks today? Like just today? Really great.
I'm not
I was
pulling
gonna-
anything.
Look around as everybody's reporting weird occurrences and see what he sees.
Malik, as you say that, all of a sudden you feel your hat get pushed forward a little toward, almost like someone just pushing the hat down a little over your eyes. Not enough to move it much, just a quarter of an inch or half an inch, and then the pressure's gone.
Yeah, enough to make him kind of jump and be like, okay, what did I just say?
What is
What
a
are we
prank?
doing?
Just like a
Not
big
me.
spoon.
Tuala, you don't notice much. You see the hat move a little, but you're not seeing much beyond that.
The prank is like a joke. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, but usually mean-spirited and annoying, and it could stop now. Thank you.
So is a prank good or bad?
It's in between.
Some people
chaotic
find it
and
funny.
neutral.
Some people find it annoying. Does anybody have any means to make smoke or fog?
Yes.
Maybe we could see if there's... I don't know, there's weird things in this jungle. Maybe there's somebody invisible.
Wait,
Following
what?
on
Why
the
are we
water?
talking about an invisible person? Like we're a weird bunch. We're a weird bunch. We would do crap like this.
I was looking at you, Malik, and I saw your hat move, but none of us moved it.
I can make a
Well,
stinking cloud. Let me see.
there-
Or a fog cloud. I can do fog cloud, which wouldn't stink. Haha.
Because then, maybe there's just, like, dude hanging out with us and he's invisible.
In the boat?
I don't know.
Kind of like the movie Ghost.
What movie? What's a movie?
And an invisible person would make a space in the fog.
What's a movie?
Tuala,
Is
as
that a
she's talking
prank,
about fog,
Gizzard?
Tuala pulls out his he pulls out a small like pouch that he has been carrying with him of some stuff that he made after they visited Fort Vengeance. He kind of holds it up and he goes, "You do not want me to throw this while we're on the boat. Perhaps we should explore other options."
Is that a prank? I'm confused why you're throwing something.
I think Solana said she could create some mist or smoke or... What was that, Solana?
Fog cloud?
Do it. Do the thing. Whatever it was.
For the invisible...
As this conversation is happening, Devaney, you get the very slight sensation, almost of something blowing in your ear.
Which ear?
It depends.
Oh, okay, let's see. The right.
Right ear. Well, she'll definitely cover her ear and say, "Yeah, there's somebody here."
Fog cloud? Okay.
Quen casts Detect Magic.
Okay. So as this is going on at the same time, it's Quenzo, as you're casting this at the same point that Solana is, it's an odd thing for you to see at first. As you cast your spell a split second before Solana's finishes and the fog starts appearing from around in your immediate vicinity. For a split second, you can see a tiny winged shape next to Devaney's head. And then almost immediately as you start to focus to see what it is, you see this magical pulse of energy pour out of Solana's hands as she's making this motion. And then it's nothing, just a billowing glow as this magic cloud of fog appears around you. You can still kind of sort of see a slight magic aura from within the fog. You're not getting a clear shape of it anymore. And as you're looking at it, you can tell, and I'm actually going to look at it this time so I don't mess up like I did last time on the School of Magic you're looking at. And... hello? I know you're in here somewhere. You can see that you get the sense of conjuration magic from the fog cloud, and you get illusion from the other small beacon that was near Devaney.
Yeah, there's something definitely invisible around here.
Is the fog cloud helping?
Go ahead and everyone make perception checks. Now, this is at disadvantage as fog cloud does obscure everything.
Then why did everybody tell me to make a fog cloud?
So
Gizzard's
Devaney,
not
you
paying
don't-
attention. He's just wrapped around his egg.
Malik's got his hat done over his eyes, so like he ain't doing it either.
Okay, so Solana and Quen, and Solana has no clue. Okay, Quen, you can sort of see something in the distance, and after a couple of moments, you're sort of trying to look, and everyone else just seems to be completely confuddled with the fog cloud, and even with everything else, a couple of moments you hear a very light voice. Well, I suppose I had to go and ruin my fun so quickly. And you all feel a breeze come carrying through as you watch the fog cloud slowly be pushed away. And currently sitting right on top of Solana's head is Solana. You feel a pressure, not a heavy one, but a little bit on top of your head. You all see a small green fairy dragon
What is it?
appear on Solana's head.
What is it?
Is that a prank?
This isn't the same one that was with the lady before.
Yeah, that was a pseudo dragon.
No, that was a pseudo dragon. This
Okay.
Is it a butterfly?
Oh, how cute!
Is it cute? Is it gonna bite my
Quen
head?
boops its nose.
I can't
Quen
see
boops
it.
its nose. Quen boops its nose.
Stop booping its
We're
nose
fun.
and get it off my head.
Don't worry, it's harmless.
Solana, you watch as his head bends down and looks at you upside down in the eyes.
Oh,
At you as well.
it can
And just
talk.
takes flight again and just perches on the side of Stephanie looking at the group of you. Well, that was more entertainment than I have most mornings.
So the answer is yes, Gizzard. It is a prank.
Do you think he's tasty?
Oh, don't eat this.
Go for it.
I look at the fairy dragon and I say, "Hey, where are your other friends?"
Nowhere, I was just flitting here and there and took my time from a rather nasty place, but you didn't react as poorly as that last group of individuals I ran into a few days ago that didn't seem to be in the mood for any fun whatsoever. So, if you have any questions that I may know the answer to, ask them. Perhaps I'll answer 2 or 3 of them.
I have a question.
No, you don't get to ask one. This is
What
important.
is in this egg?
Ah, okay. Well, that's good. I'll concede to that.
That's... Which one?
Ah,
My one.
no, my one.
Well, if you are discussing yours, perhaps we can take a look here. And it sort of peers for a couple of moments and... This is interesting. This is... not an egg.
What?
It is a container for something that I cannot see within. But this is no natural egg.
What is a container?
It's like a movie.
Well,
Bag of holding, but
it's-
less holding.
So a bag of.
Egg of less
I got
holding.
something inside.
No, you said less holding, so just a bag of.
Devin, you're just gonna confuse him.
As you
I could
look
try to
at...
explain it in Draconic. Maybe that would make more sense.
Try.
That would.
I'll try to explain it. I don't know, like a basket with a lid.
That does make sense.
Reply back in Britain.
Quen nudges forward to Walla. Come on, just be playful.
Walla be playful. I mean,
What?
yeah.
What? I don't have anything to ask.
Should I ask?
What's a soul forge? Is that what that was?
That's a good question.
I am unfamiliar with this, but you... yes, I've not heard specifically of this. Or where... Do you know where it resides or anything more on it?
The Peaks of Flame.
No, those are mountains to the south, but I have not specifically traveled within the Peaks of Flame. Areas west of there I have been through, but not there.
What about Omu?
Omu? What do you seek in Omu?
Well, maybe you've heard of the Soulmonger.
There is... all I know of Omu is was there somewhat recently, and there were many gargoyles, large stone creatures, and these snake people who roamed the city. I tended not to stay long. They seemed to be able to sense me almost.
Well, you are adorable.
Stone creatures and snake people. Oh my.
What's in my egg? Do you know what's in my egg?
As you watch as the Fair Sword turns and gives a little smile to you. I am sorry, my dear. I said I would answer 2 or 3, and that has been my 3, but don't worry. You'll find out what's in yours sooner than you'd like. And with that, as you watch, the shape of this dragon just fades into nothingness. And
Solana, perhaps we can crack your egg now.
No,
See
don't
what's
crack
in
the egg. It's not ready.
Your loss.
You just want to eat what's inside. No. Would you eat what's in your egg? No, don't answer that. That's gross.
It is a container.
Is it? Would you eat what's in the container?
Would you eat what's in the container?
No.
Then yes.
If I said yes, would you say no?
Probably.
So as our group is slowly continuing to make their way ever further southbound, rest of your day's travel seems to go through without any real incident. As you find yourselves coming towards the end of the day, it's getting to be about the time to make camp. You can make camp. You can keep pushing through. What does the party want to do?
We will make camp.
Camp it is.
Okay. So as you guys are get set up, start to find a nice little spot to make your campsite. And yes, because you've got a pretty good idea where it is. You didn't get an exact location, but as you guys are heading in the right direction from what you've where you have the X marked on the copy of the map you've got, and based on what the fairy dragon gave you, where you're just poking around west to the peaks of Flame, and has been to Omu recently, so it's a pretty safe assumption you're heading in the right direction. And as you guys are meandering ever southward, as it's just about 9:30, this is about as good place for us to take our break for this evening. So thank you very much for everyone swinging by with us. A couple of shout-outs, as I didn't get a chance to mention them earlier due to some key stuff going on. Want to give a shout-out to Digitio for hanging out with us this evening, Dice Bard for showing out, Hey It's Core, I'm trying to see this is awkward guy, but we don't like him. He shows up randomly and tends to, harangue people. So,
Nasty fellow.
yeah, thank you all for hanging out, being active in chat with us. Some other people we see watching, Commander Rude, Decaf Smurf, Bloodluster. I'm going to assume that's Effervescent, Electrical Skateboard, Idiot Tantrum, Matman Gaming, and Vergaproz. So thank you very much for hanging out with us. We will be back in somewhere between 3 to 7 minutes as we run, grab drinks, and take care of a little bit, and we'll find out where our party is continuing on their way. Well, hello. We have returned. Said wouldn't do the creepy announcer voice because, hey, too many people find it creepy. But be on the lookout for more announcements from Creepy Advertiser Man. So
Brought
as
to you by JJ as a mime now.
hey, that's okay. I want to see him mime Big Spoon.
No, we don't
I want-
want to.
I will need a cantaloupe and reconstructive surgery so that I can unhinge my jaw.
No, all he
Find
needs
this
is,
melon, sir.
is an avocado. We've seen it already.
Oh yeah, those were the days.
Oh, is there like an after show to this that I don't know about? What you guys do?
Remind
I'm
JJ
ready
of
to.
years gone past. And the nasty things Australians eat. Avocados.
I love avocado.
With the skin on. I'm not.
Oh, ew.
Get
It's-
out of here,
Dude,
filthy animal.
okay, for those who are
Beast.
in our Twitch chat who may not have been with us back then, when we first started, JJ decided to be a smartass one day and said, if we get, what was it, like 5 follows tonight, I'll pick this avocado up and I'll eat it like a bloody apple. We had 5 follows, I think, within 3 minutes. And right on camera, we all see JJ pick it up and just go right through the, whatever it's called, the fucking skin, everything. It was
Rind.
rind. Thank you.
Full of vitamins.
It's like, ugh. So,
Yeah, that's gross.
seeing Gizzard eat things, I've seen JJ eat worse.
Fair enough. Then your
The
Comes
best-
from deep within my soul.
The best characters and stories come from personal experience, and
I'm living it.
And when you watch JJ's jaw unhinge to shove the avocado in his mouth, it's just. Oh, so with that, we'll head back into our tale as our party is making camp for the evening. And apparently, hey, its core agrees with JJ. That is the proper way to eat an avocado.
I don't need no knife.
There are now
I don't even need to get
2
rid of the
people
pit.
I have serious questions about. So as you guys have got Stephanie pulled over to the side, found a somewhat dry area to make camp for the evening. Is there anything anyone in specific would want to take care of during this evening?
Quinn is very perplexed by the amount of Fey activity in the area. He wonders if there's something like a portal or something else nearby.
Yeah, go ahead and say make an Arcana check. Just given what you've seen and ooh. So you definitely get the sense as you're heading further south that there seems to be more of a Fey presence and more of a Fey interest as you're. And what that check is, you're realizing what you're heading towards. Seems to make a lot of sense, as there's a lot of very powerful beings that inhabit the Feywild. And something like the Soulmonger, or as Tuala mentioned, the Soulforge earlier. You know, if there are these powerful magical items down there, it wouldn't surprise you if some Fey entities were looking to get their hands on them.
I hope this lost city with the stone creatures and snake people are the worst of our troubles.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
How's the group handling watches for this evening?
oh, I do want to retcon really quick. Melik is gonna try and make something out of that last bit, and one of those bits of nectar that he has.
Okay.
I'll go with the red one.
Alrighty then. So go ahead and make your check with that.
And what should that be? Wisdom or intelligence?
What did we use last time? Was it wisdom last time, I think?
Last time it was a natural 20, so.
Oh, that's right. We didn't have to figure that out. Let's see here. Let me take a look at this. And this was coming from this. Let's go wisdom, where this is coming from a plant.
Right, my bad one. Woof.
As you try to work with it a little bit, and as you're going through, you think you might have. You've got about a third of a vial, not even a full vial out of it. So you think you might have enough for maybe one dose, but you're not exactly sure how effective.
Okay.
Malik, you know the jug we have can make poison, yes?
Are you serious?
Mhm.
Deadly.
Why are you the first one to tell me about this? You know, oh my, okay, and he's, okay, whoa, alright, wow, this did not go great for Melik the poison making, and this news on top of everything else, he is literally going to throw everything on the ground.
Did you just say your jaw can make poison?
The jar.
The jar! The jar! The jar, not the jaw. I thought
There
you
are
jaw.
certain species of my race that can shoot poison out of there.
Yeah, I didn't want to be racist and say that. Okay, your jaw.
Yeah, that's great. Melik is literally has thrown the vial of 1/3 of whatever that was on the ground. It is on the ground and no more, and he is in his tent and the flap is closed and nobody better talk to him.
We never asked before.
Yeah. Well,
Why
he's-
would you have a jar that makes poison?
Why would we have a jar that makes poison, Gizzard?
You
It
have a
doesn't-
jar that
I
makes
just
many
found
things.
it. I don't.
It doesn't only make poison, it makes water and mayonnaise
Honey
and sangria.
Mayonnaise. Lots of mayonnaise.
It makes a good honey.
Honey, oil, water. Yeah, water.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of, he's gonna say as he busts back out of that tent and is gonna march right over to Quinn and be like, "Jug me,
What? With what?
take it back into the tent, door closed. Once again, nobody better talk to me."
I hope you're not eating all that mayonnaise by yourself.
Wow.
I
You know,
think
they
my
grow up so
assessment has
fast.
changed. He is
Good luck being the big spoon.
perhaps the melodramatic one.
Perhaps. Just so
Glad I'm not the melodramatic one.
we got a couple of those in our party. Alright, I'll take first watch.
Alrighty then. What else is covering a watch this evening?
Oh, Devaney would like 4.
I'll
take
take
one.
third.
There's that, Tuala, you said you take one?
Well, what everyone's
That's
left.
not what you... Yep, so that'll leave you second. Let's go
Alright.
ahead. Wow.
Yeah, we're not very perceptive tonight.
Not
Garrett,
this
she
evening.
crashed. Hang on. Beep 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 beep.
I'm gonna stay up with Solana and play with my container egg.
Holy mother of Tuala.
I can
Right.
see through time.
Righty then. Okay, so as you guys start making your getting things set up, you have your dinner, head into your respective areas for this evening. Gizzard, you're saying you're staying up for first watch with Solana. Anything in specific you would be looking to do, or
I'm just playing with my egg, knocking on it, shaking it. Now that I know there's nothing living inside of it, picking it up and inspecting it.
okay?
How is this a container? It looks like an egg to me.
It does look like an egg. I don't know if mine's a container or an egg either. So let's just leave mine be. Let's not crack it.
Start knocking on the egg.
Well,
listening
Gizzard,
for any hollow sounds.
You know how like a
love
treasure
Kinders.
chest has like gold inside of it?
Or Kinder Eggs have chocolate and presents
Eggs
inside.
also have golden things inside of it.
You mean yolks and babies? You're not even awake.
Yes. I'm an elf. I can meditate.
The sass.
Okay, so 3 of us are awake. You're
Okay,
not
so
opening my egg.
I start shaking my egg. Can I hear anything in it?
go ahead and make a separate perception check for me.
Like a kid on Christmas morning.
Or whatever non-religious holiday you celebrate.
So,
Nope.
that's celebrated.
Thank you, Captain PC Producer.
Yes, no problem.
So as you're shaking away at this what you've now found out to be a container, you can't hear anything whatsoever. You hear the fire crackling from your campsite. You can hear Solana and Quen breathing a little bit. You can hear everything but what you want to.
Be quiet, you're breathing too loud. Ah, I hear nothing.
Maybe.
What about yours?
And I go to grab Solana's egg.
Don't grab mine, it's mine. It's fine. Leave it be.
Just shake it a little bit.
I'm not shaking it.
I am bored. I'm going to sleep.
Go to sleep then. At least Quinn's got my back.
So as the evening is, as the first watch is starting to near its end, and it's almost time for you to awake Tuala. And Quen, would you still be hanging out with Solana, or would you have gone into meditate at this point?
Whose watch is it right now?
Right now, it's still first watch. It's still Solana's.
Oh, no, I'll hang out with Solana.
Yay!
Okay. So as Gizzard has gone to rest, and you're hanging out with Solana, and I have grabbed the wrong person. Okay, the two of you notice movement off in the distance in the trees.
Like up in the trees?
A little ways, yes. As you're looking up, you can see the movement, but you really can't make out like a clear visual of a face or anything. You can just see moves. The branches are moving. You can see them being weighed down, and you can see it's moving closer to the camp.
I yell out, hello?
Do you think it's that fairy dragon again?
Maybe if it's invisible. Maybe it's friendly. Hi, friendly fairy dragon. We're still here.
I also don't think it might not play the same trick twice in a day.
Oh.
So as it starts getting a little bit closer, you guys can start to hear. And let me see if this is going to work for me. Okay. So as it starts getting a little closer, you two both hear.
Uh-oh. Okay, do I know if that's an animal?
Yeah, I gotta turn the volume up on our 120.
Go ahead and make a nature check. Given the sound and how close it is, you get the strong feeling That sounds like a very large feline.
Hey, look, you called a jaguar like you wanted to Gizzard, who's now asleep. Okay, I'm going to go. Do you want me to talk to it, or do you want to wake everyone up and kill it? I don't want to kill it, so I'm going to talk to it.
Alright,
I don't have
talk to it.
As the two of you are watching, again, the trees now moving on separate sides of the camp as the two shaking images in the trees start meandering outwards. Okay. As you cast a spell on yourself, and go ahead. What are you doing, Solana?
Hi, I hear that you're in the area. Oh, hi, I hear that you're in the area. Just wanted to say, don't eat us. We have some meat if you're hungry. Thanks for visiting. How many of there are you? When?
As you
Go get
As you
Gizzard.
say that, and you still, and again, sort of turning up in the, circling in the trees, and again, a few moments goes by, and again, getting closer and louder now, you hear that same low, guttural growl. And out of the trees to the north of where you're sitting near the campfire, you see what appears to be the face of a leopard staring down from the trees about 30 or 40 feet back from you, but up a ways in the tree. But then, as you watch, from behind it, you start to see snakes moving.
This looks like a Pokemon, guys. Everybody wake up!
So you said you were, you said you had told Quen to go get Gizzard?
Yes.
Okay. So give me a second, as we are going to be shifting a little bit here, or shifting our map in just a moment. Okay. So we have Gizzard there. So go ahead, everyone. You know what? Forget the rolls tonight. So at this point, because it's still first watch, everyone is going to be responding to Solana's shout at this point. So, Ms. Producer, if you can follow the bouncing flag for me as we head back over here.
Oh. Oh dear.
And then we are going to shift ping right smack dab in the middle here with these two individuals out in the distance. And how we are going to do this is, well, I need you all to go ahead and roll initiative. Solana, where it is your watch, and we're going to have everybody wake up so everybody gets to partake right from the get-go. You get advantage on your initiative roll.
I'll take the 22.
Okay, so go ahead and change that over. As we're going to run it differently.
I feel like this is a good sign we're getting closer to Omu. Snakes attaching themselves to leopards.
Okay, and with that, as everybody is waking up, and fitting enough, Quen. Oh, I forgot. Quen. Actually, I don't know if it's worth it. If you want, you can roll yours with initiative because you're awake at the same point. But realistically, you've got a 23. Realistically, you're going first. I don't know if it's really worth even rolling it. You're not going to be any higher than first on the initiative list.
I want to be more first. The most first.
Always strive to do better, kids.
And with
Right.
that, as we have you taking over, and this, we'll start with you. And that brings us to Quen. As you have just run over, you've already woken Gizzard, who is now sat up.
Okay. I say, come on, Gizzard. I think there's lots of food out there. Let's go. And then Quen prances out of the tent.
You have my attention.
Follow me. Okay, so Quen's gonna end up there, activate his Spell Singer aura, and then is going to cast Magic Missile at level 2 at this baddie here.
Okay. So we're gonna go. Okay. So it's definitely gonna hit. So as those darts slam into the body, again you hear a slight hiss and a growl as this thing turns its head more towards you. And again, you're seeing now for the first time that there appear to be 6 snakes' bodies floating out of the middle of the back of this, what appears to be a large leopard.
Well, over this, I think I'd rather be home. Ugh.
And anything else? That it?
That's it.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Solana.
Solana's gonna use her bow and ensnaring and say Kumbaya.
Okay. So go ahead and make your attack, and let me grab my sheet here, because poor planning DM did not pull out the his character sheet first. Okay. So that is definitely going to hit. And what is your what's your spell save DC?
15, I think? Yeah, 15.
Okay. Let's see. And this is strength, if I remember correctly, for ensnare, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it takes 11 points of damage.
So let me just make sure it is strength, because if it's strength, that sucker is caught. It's snaring strike, yeah, strength saving throw. So that stinker is caught.
Yay!
Okay, so we will put that in. Okay, and that will bring us over to Melik, who is Melik. You've just been awoken by Solana shouting out that there's trouble in the area.
Yeah, I don't know if he had gone to sleep yet because he had been. He's like embarrassingly drunk right now. Like
Ooh.
it's pretty stupid. But he is gonna wobble out of the tent. I'm ready. Oh, okay. Who's this big man over here with all the flyaway hairs coming up in here like
it's
he's
not a man.
something?
Oh no. Oh, this is one. Okay.
Okay. Actually, wait a second. So we're gonna go strained, and then that's a wisdom save.
He is literally gonna wobble right up to him.
Oh my god.
Okay, so That is going to fail. Okay. And that will bring us over to the next one that is actually down by Quen. Okay. Then let's see here. Okay. So this one is going to charge straight at Quen. And as it's charging up, it is going to make 2 attacks, one with a claw and one with its snakes. The first one is a 25. So I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me. Okay, so you're... okay, so you take half, so you should negate the... negate the crit.
Ooh, geez.
So you take 10 points of piercing damage and 23 points of poison damage. As 3 of the snakes just clamp down onto your shoulders, and you feel a sickening pulse as the venom starts to course through you. You manage to shake it off, but it still is not feeling great.
Okay.
And then...
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I transfer half of it to Shield Guardian.
He has to be within 30 feet of you, right?
60.
Oh, okay.
I did not know you could do that. Did I?
Huh?
Did I know that you could do that?
I'm not sure if Quen ever mentioned that to you.
Oh.
Okay, so that would mean 33, so half of that. So you'd be able to transfer 17 points to the Shield Guardian. And then this next attack is with its claw as it's charging in, and that's an 18.
No, that doesn't hit.
Oh,
Because I have
okay.
my Spellslinger aura.
Alrighty then, so that'll end its turn. And that'll bring us over to Tuala.
Okay. So these Tuala steps out of his tent, and
As you step out and you start to survey the battlefield, you feel a little pulse in the back of your mind. And I am here with you should you need me.
Oh.
And at the same time, he sees Malik stumbling up to a wild animal. How, comparatively to Tuala, how big are these things?
These are large well, we'll call them
Tuala's-
large creatures. It's probably got, I'd say probably, as you're looking at a picture, you as a person standing next to like a large grizzly.
Oh.
Okay.
It's when it's on all fours, it looks, hey, this isn't too bad. But if it were to rear up, it'd be oh hell no.
Tuala's pretty hefty. So he sees Melik staggering up to this creature, and he just shouts, "Fanciful one, no!" and takes off at a dead sprint. And I want to flying linebacker tackle the creature here.
It's restrained, by the way.
So he will have advantage on his attempt here. Let's see here. So go ahead and we'll say this can be either strength or athletics, and you're literally trying to just close eye and knock this thing to the ground.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and make your strength or athletics with advantage, as it is it's restrained at the moment. If this works, you're going to send it. Oh, yeah, that is easily enough to knock it away. So it is going to be torn.
Wait, hold up. Oh, it's with advantage, right?
Yeah. And
Probably. Okay, yeah.
And actually, I completely forgot about this till just now. Does anyone remember who got the nat 20 for last week? Or for this week? Oh,
Salon.
Solana? Okay. So, as you send this flying, immediately, well, first, given it was restrained, go ahead and we'll say roll, we'll call it 2d4 plus your strength modifier instead of the normal 1d4. As you knock this thing back, it is torn out of the vines that had grown up from the ground to wrap around it. As you slam into this and knock it away from Melik, carrying yourself with it.
I'm trying to grapple him. Is that something I can do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we'll say is that'll be 8 damage off that, and he is now grappled by you, and is now. So we will actually not. We'll leave the icon on there because it'll either one. As you have knocked it away from Melik a little bit, and it's now, basically looks like a man getting attacked by a bear. Hands on the shoulders, the mouth snapping down at your face, and just holding it back, keeping it at bay, and not letting it move.
That's my turn. I have no bonus action to do right now.
Okay. So that will bring it back to that creature. And as it is looking in your, as it's looking you eye to eye, as you've sort of pushed it back and have it sort of reeling on its hind legs. Let's see here. It is going to. Just give me a second. I'm just looking to see if that'll. Oh, and to answer your question, yes. Okay. So this thing. We'll save that for next one if it's around. So it's going to make 2 attacks against you. One is a bite, and the other is going to be with its snakes. So the bite first is the head tries to snap down and grab at your face. And that is a 10. Something tells me that's not going to hit.
Not quite.
And then reaches out is a couple of the snakes, and that's a 1. You have got this thing held up by the undersides of its front legs. It just cannot get a good purchase on you. And that will bring us over to Devon A.
Okay, I'm gonna run out my tent. Apparently I have one again. And start attacking the one that Quen is in front of.
Okay. That's actually a valid point. We did lose a couple of them, so poof.
Aww. Nuts.
So you ran out of the bush. So,
We've been on the ground under at least.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
go
I'm
ahead
just
and,
gonna attempt to hit this thing.
okay, so go ahead and start making some swipes. So that will actually miss.
Oh, well, good start, I guess. We can only go from here.
You say that now. Hey, that'll hit.
Alright. And last one.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, to get worse.
So as you come in once and you swipe down, and it's a little off-putting to see this leopard with snakes snapping out at you. The second one is you come down with your other hand, manage to cleave a cut into the shoulder, and then one of the snakes jumps out at your face, and as you wildly swing back and narrowly miss hitting Quen with your wild swing.
Sorry about that.
Anything else you're doing?
I'm going to stay there and.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Gizzard. So Gizzard, Quen has tempted you with the promise of much meat out in the Out in the camp, what are you doing?
I have not tried this creature yet.
And as Gizzard stands up, he's got his spear and he's going to approach. And as he's running towards this creature, he's going to throw the spear at it.
Okay, where are you going? North, south? Oh, south? Okay. Okay, so that will... Actually...
Isn't it flying, technically?
Okay, it is, but it... Oh, actually, even with disadvantage, it hits. Yeah. So, go ahead and roll your damage.
Finally, some max damage. I like it.
That is nice.
Alright, and then I'm going to finish my movement and get right up next to it here. And these snakes that are swinging about wildly, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to bite one of the snake heads off the creature.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh, as you try to reach out and bite it, and they're moving too quickly. You can't get a good connection on it.
Alrighty, I'm going to spend a key point to use some unarmed strikes, and I'm going to use my subclass feature, if I can ever see it on my screen up here. There we go. I'm going to attempt to knock this creature prone.
Alrighty then. So, unfortunately, you're not. It will not connect.
Not on that one, but perhaps the next one? Yes?
Okay, so that'll hit. So let's see here. Go ahead
One
and
of
roll your
Blizzard's
damage.
legs comes out and tries to... That fails.
Yep. Okay, so that is 8. So you can see this thing definitely looks like it is starting to take some damage. A couple of the snake's heads are moving a little slower now. But it is still... Well, I can't say it's still on its feet, but it is still alive and kicking, so to speak.
Alright, now it's prone. Cool.
So that is for that one.
That's mine.
Okay. And that'll bring us over to Quen.
Hi, Quen will... Quen will attack with Bookmark with Green Flame Blade. Ooh. I don't
You get
think
advantage.
so.
No, it'll actually hit because it's prone. It has advantage.
Oh,
So go ahead and roll damage.
I love that. That's great. And then I'm gonna stab it one more time regular and roll a 1 again. I'll get him out now. Get him out now.
Okay.
So many ones tonight.
With advantage, that will still hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright.
Okay, it is still on its feet, but it is looking a little rougher now. Again, metaphorically speaking.
Haha.
And that will bring us over to Solana. Who is you've sunk an arrow into the creature to the north, and then watched as Tuala has basically tackled it and has now got it held, supported up, his arms holding under its legs.
Way to undermine what I did there, Tuala. But
I
Quen,
can't hear you. There's a large cat in my face.
Yeah, I'm muttering to myself. Quen, do you need healing?
I'd never say no to that.
So I will take a shot.
I could eat.
Okay, I will heal. I'll come up and heal Quen. Hey there, buddy. And then where's my healing spells? Huh, why isn't it coming up? Oh, there it is.
Ooh, very nice.
Ooh. Oh yeah,
And
I'm
that's all
feeling
I'll do.
quite full after that. Thank you.
Okay. Hey! Anyway, I'm done my turn.
Okay. And I would just like to point out here, I got to give a shout out to Hey It's Core, because yes, you are right, Gizzard did eat the Fantasy Tide Pods. And that'll bring us over to a drunken Melek, who just
Alright.
watched this creature get shoved and then basically lifted into the air partially by Tuala.
Tuala's underneath it right now.
It basically, it's pictured sort of like this. This thing's up on its hind legs with Tuala pushing it up.
Got it. Yeah, Melik is gonna get right back in there and kind of get his hands on the side of Tuala, trying to push him directly to the other side. What are you doing? I thought we said no more fights. He was just gonna pay me.
As the gnashing teeth on his face. Like, what are you talking about? Hit it with your sword, fanciful one.
What? No. No, stop. No. Okay, wait. What are we doing? No, we said no more fights. We said no more fights. And so...
You're trying to shove Tuala away?
Yeah.
Okay, Tuala, go ahead. You can either make a check against that, or you can try... so go ahead and make either... make a strength check against that, as you really can't dodge it as you're... So, Melik, as you were pushing on...
Hold up. Let me make sure and see if this works, because I think that it does... no, not saving throws, huh? Okay.
It's not a saving throw, it's an ability check.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button.
Oh. Is your bonus the same? Is it +6 either way? Oh, no, it can't be.
No.
It's better.
What?
Well, this
Come
isn't
at me!
fair. I mean, I guess I still have a shot, so Melik will end up spending one of his bardic dies for some cutting words.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll.
I'm cutting up and kikiing.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's even though.
That's better than even. That beats. That lowers his to a 15.
Hell yeah.
Tuala, as you are knocked over to the side by Melik, who has shoved you, releasing the creature, who crashes down on all four legs. Anything else you're doing on your turn, Melik?
Melik is, well, as he pushes, Tuala will be just kind of like, shoot. You idiot, you promised we weren't gonna do this anymore, and then turn back to the creature and say, like, you said you'd pay half up front and half after, now pay us.
Oh god, does he think this is Solana?
Oh my god.
Lana never said anything about payment. Personally. Second of all, no. Or maybe. I'm not really sure, actually.
My gosh.
Anything else you're doing, Melik?
No, that's it for me.
Yes, that will bring us to this one that is currently dealing with everybody else and has no idea the confusion that is going on up north. Okay, I need Devonay, actually. No, it can't charge you guys, so it is just going to make straight attacks. So let's see. It has
is it
3
standing
of you.
up? Or is it staying
Oh,
prone?
well, yeah, good point. It's going to use half its movement to stand itself up first. I forgot this one was prone. So it uses half its movement to stand up. It can't charge, so it's got 3 of you in place. Let's see who are getting these attacks. Okay, Devonay and Quen. So first attack at Devonay. It's a 16, does not hit, I don't think.
It hits.
Okay. And then I need a Constitution saving throw from you. And then Quen, the second attack towards you is a 10.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so Devonay, you take half damage on the poison. So as you, again, these couple of snakeheads jut down and bite into the couple of soft spots and the little gaps in the armor. Take 8 piercing damage and 8 poison damage. That will end its turn, as we now come over to Tuala, who has been shoved to the side by Melik, and has just witnessed Melik trying to have a conversation with this thing about obtaining payment.
Okay. So Tuala will yell at Melik. Fanciful one, that is not Plant Elf. Plant Elf is over there. He says as he steps back up and attempts to essentially grab Melik by like the back of his little lederhosen or whatever it is he's got going on, and just like one arm just throw him back behind him away from the monster towards the rest of the party and put himself between Melik and the monster once again.
Okay, Melik, you going willingly? Contested.
Oh no! What?
Okay. Go ahead, and I need you both strength checks then.
I love this arm wrestling match in the middle of the battle.
Alec, when did you get so strong?
Sorry. Once again, because I can do this whenever I want.
You need to give out these bardic inspiration die.
Oh
That
my
is again
god.
a tie.
As Tuala, as you walk up and grab the back of Melik and pull, for whatever reason, this tiny,
He's real slippery because he's super
fancifully
drunk.
dressed, it's just, you can't seem to get a good grip and get him moved.
And the whole time he's wriggling, he's like, "You're gonna get hurt again. You're gonna go to sleep again."
Do I have any? Was trying to throw him as my action, right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rage.
Okay.
And he's gonna, as he rages, so I'm gonna trigger my storm aura, forcing the monster there to make a dexterity saving throw.
As a 14, what's your save on it?
I don't know. It doesn't really establish what my save is for these. Barbarian
So
things.
it's 8 plus strength modifier plus proficiency bonus.
Okay. 8, 14, so it makes it.
So it makes it save.
Okay, so anyway, I fly into a rage, yelling at Melik, I do not have time for your emotional issues!
That is just like you.
You're not my dad! I'm done. I'm out of stuff I can do.
So as you're going back and forth, this thing's on the ground, and you watch as these snake heads are snapping out at you. You watch as the entire creature seems to inhale, and out of the 6 mouths of the snakes, this gas is expelled in a cone in front of it. I need both Melik and Tuala to make Constitution saves for me.
Liquor gives me power.
I need a save, not a check.
Oh my god, this no!
Oh, who did it wrong now?
As Melik is
Never
this.
mind.
As this gas washes over, Melik, you immediately pass out and crumple to the floor.
Oh,
Of course.
knockout gas.
You are now unconscious and asleep on the ground
Jesus.
for either 10 minutes until you take damage or until someone wakes you. Tuala, on the other hand, you are okay at the moment, and that ends its turn, and it brings us back over to Devonay.
Well, rather oblivious of everything that's going on over at the other end. Daphne is going to try to hit this thing, maybe more than once.
Okay, so first one will hit. Okay, it is still on its feet, but it is looking extremely rough. As you slash through that time, you notice you managed to cleave off 2 of the snake's heads.
Good.
And that one will definitely hit as well. Okay, and how do you want to end this one? That is enough to put it down.
Tiffany is just annoyed at all these snake heads that keep bobbing, and so with her first hit, she gets as many as she can. With her second hit, it, gets the other bits, and if to her surprise, it just altogether stops moving. And that's nice.
As you watch is with the second swipe, Devonay goes wide and manages to take the remaining snake heads off, and much to all of your surprise, it literally just collapses and falls to the ground.
And I'm going to point to the other one, and that's going to be my turn.
Okay. So that will bring us over to Gizzard.
Most importantly, Gizzard's going to try to collect as many snakeheads as he can. Just whatever he sees in front of him, just pick them up.
Okay, you can make an investigation check if you wanted to collect them all.
Not all of them, just whatever I see, whatever's landed at my feet. Just quick, get down, grab it, and then I'm...
Okay, roll a d6.
You can get these later. They'll still be fresh.
Okay, there are 5 of them in front of you. You have no idea where the 6th one went.
I don't care. I take 5. 5 in one hand, and I take the dash action towards up north, towards Tuala and Malik.
Oh, okay.
And as I'm doing so, I want to try and use Tuala as like a little boosting pad and jump off him and get onto the booty of this interesting creature.
Can I use my reaction to aid him in that endeavor?
Sure, why not? So go ahead and make your check with advantage, Gizzard. So it's easy enough as you charge and jump, and but you're not jumping at its rear. You're jumping at its face and the 6 snakes as it is facing
Bless you.
towards you. Bless you. So you do manage to land on its back, but you're sort of situated in the middle of its shoulders with a whole bunch of snakes basically around you.
Oh, it's a snake!
I'm gonna hold the snakes up to my own neck, and the frills come out. So it's like I got my own little snake situation going on here. And I'm gonna spend a key point to take the dodge action.
Okay. That'll bring us over. That'll bring us over to Quen.
Quen will say, "See, I told you there was tons of meat out here. And then Quinn's gonna try and make a run towards Melik and Chihuahua, but we'll notice I don't see Melik. So he's gonna freak out for a second and then cast Misty Step. And then appear right beside Melik. And then he's gonna cast Misty Step as a reaction. And then we'll appear there.
Reactions take place as something else does something. Let me take a look at. Let me just check Misty Step. I think you can use it as a bonus action, though.
Okay.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, so it's a bonus action, so you still have your action.
Okay, so I'll use that as a bonus action then. And then we'll attack it with Green Flame Blade.
Okay, so that will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
And then I'm going to poke at it again with Bookmark regularly.
Okay, so that one will miss.
Ooh. And I say, leave my friend alone.
Okay. And that will bring us over to Solana.
Alright, Solana's gonna move over. And then she's going to say Kumbaya and try to helpfully... Oh no, Gizzard's on the back of it. She can't restrain it. Would that restrain Gizzard too?
I'll say make this an intelligence check. As you're looking at it, and you can see Gizzard is squarely on its shoulders with the snakes all around him, you're pretty sure that if you cast it, it'll restrain them both.
I don't mind.
wouldn't mind though.
Do it. Do
He
it.
could eat his way out.
Being very meta here. Do it.
Okay, I wouldn't do that. I know I would do it, but no. Okay, then I will. No, I can't do Thorn Whip. I will do a Christy thing and do the Moonbeam.
That's even
Okay,
worse.
so where are you casting it?
Right on the creature. It's 5 feet, so can it just be on the center of the creature?
Okay, so go ahead and roll for me.
So.
Okay, and that's a dexterity save, right?
Yeah. I get Gizzard anyway, don't I?
Gizzard, I need you to make a dexterity save as well.
So I don't get restrained to the thing. I just get radiation burns.
You get
I
radiation burns.
am not a smart elf.
Giza did not bring his proper SPF.
There you go.
Okay,
It's
so
alright, I
Gizzard
don't take
takes
any
half.
damage because of evasion.
Oh,
I don't
evasion.
take any. Yeah.
Okay, so is this thing
Somehow
is
I put my sunscreen on real quick.
Good job, Gizzard.
as this thing is slowly and Gizzard, this is starting to smell a little nasty as you watch as one of the snake heads is hanging a little limp as it's starting to move. It's not a overly pleasant sensation at the moment.
And that's
And Melik is currently unconscious.
Do I get to make a con save or something?
No, it's just the saves failed until somebody wakes you or you take damage,
All right.
unfortunately. And that'll bring us over to Tuala, who is watching this giant beam of pale blue light slowly look to be cooking the creature. But strangely enough, it doesn't seem like Gizzard really minds it.
I'm going to use my action once again to one-arm Melik. Now that he's asleep and can't fight me, and just throw him as far behind me as I can away from the creature, and then just plant himself with his glaive in front of the monster.
So go ahead and make a strength check with advantage as you are raging.
Actually, I'm not raging. I didn't take damage or do damage last round, so my rage does
fair
end.
All damage. All damage.
That's,
Crash by a
that's
stick.
So as Melik flies back 15 feet, go ahead and roll 1d6.
Oh, me. Sorry.
Yep.
I don't know if I thought the ground was gonna roll there or something.
So Malik is all of a sudden, out of all the rolls,
Surprisingly gentle.
Just enough.
as you go flying through the air and you land in this seemingly somewhat pillowy leaf, and all of a sudden you just, as you roll down, you land on this one sharp corner of a rock that just jabs into a rib, and you're like, oh, what the? And you are conscious once more.
Everyone's here.
And you're probably still a little drunk.
Probably very drunk.
And that will bring us over to the creature again, who has got a gizzard on its back and a moonbeam on its head. So it is going to actually take off running to get away from this moonbeam.
It's a rodeo. Let's do it.
And yeah, you're going with it as it is charging, and as it's running, it sees Solana. So as it charges towards Solana, and you come along for the ride. Oop, I don't know why I shoved you underneath it, but hey, that whatever works. You know what? Let's do this.
So I get a opportunity attack as it runs away from me.
Yep, and so does Malik. Sorry, so does Quen.
Ooh.
Okay, so that will unfortunately miss as you swipe out and try to catch it as it's running away. Bookmark on the other
the
hand,
fanciful one over there. Damn it!
and that will hit. And Quen, you definitely hear a growl come out of this thing as it's running, as you think that really hit home.
Ha,
And
got it.
Solana, as this thing is charging forward at you, it's going to make 2 attacks against you. First one is going to be a claw attack. That's a 13.
Nope.
Okay, second is again with the snakes. And that is a 15. Okay. And that will end its turn, and that will bring us over to Devonay.
Devin,
Alright,
kill
so-
it.
You guys are just playing around and not doing stuff. So I'm gonna move
I
out
summoned
of...
a giant moonbeam.
Well, you're doing fine.
Okay.
Get scolded.
I'm just gonna do magic missile actually, because there's
Okay.
people riding things and I don't want to hit them. And, yeah,
So go ahead and roll some damage.
and I'm going to do it at second level.
And Devonay, how do you want to do this?
I want a graceful landing.
Just fed up with everybody running around and not doing much. She'll just take out her trusty old magic missile and fire it off. And surprisingly, once again, it falls down. She
So,
dusts her hand together and goes back to her leaf.
So, Gizzard, as you're riding this thing, go ahead and make a dexterity save, as all of a sudden multiple bolts fly from the south and slam into this thing. And as it rears back and falls on top of Gizzard, as he was unable to roll out of the way in time, Gizzard, you are going to take 4 points of damage, as this large monstrosity is now laying on top of you.
Is its back on me, or is its front half on me?
It's
Underneath.
basically, as it goes back, you are basically, it's laying like this, and you are sort of pinned underneath its shoulders on its back.
All right, I'm gonna bite as many snakes off as I can.
It's dead, so you're just sitting. Solana, as you're watching this, as you can see, Gizzard is just pinned under this thing and looks happy as a pig in slop as he is just chewing the snakes off of the back of this thing.
Do you want me to just Do you want me to just leave you there? Or do you want me to come get you? Or...
I'm fine.
Okay, I'll let you have your moment. I'll go up to Melik and be like, Melik, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. What? Stop. Just he's gonna like really, rickety kind of try and get up. It's gonna take him a while and a couple of stumbles, but
I'm
fine.
gonna go
fine.
over to Melik and help him back into his tent.
Listen, no, stop it. I'm fine. We have to do the show. It's all good. And he's gonna pull out his fiddle. And
I'm gonna plug my ears
just,
with my earplugs.
alrighty. Point the bow of the fiddle at Solana, like, get that drum line started. Let's do this.
Okay, I'm gonna pat my knees like I'm drumming.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I got bongos. I forgot I've got bongos.
Jungle Family Band strikes again.
I'm gonna
Melik,
use my
real
nat.
quick.
I'm gonna use my nat 20 for bongos.
Okay, real quick, Melik. Roll a D2 as you are drunk as a skunk. We're gonna find out which fiddle you're pulling out.
Oh,
Tell me it was the right one, the correct one.
oh no.
Yeah!
You hear me say plug my ears?
So, you're playing the bongos now. You're not plugging your.
No, I put my earplugs in up.
So as you guys start taking off and playing, what are the rest of you doing as you notice Melik and Solana and Quinn trying to join in, but seems to be a little off key a little bit this time?
I
What
guess
was the
the
rest
rest
of
of
you
the
doing?
charming dance underneath the beast.
Tuala's just standing there, kind of eyes closed, just like taking some deep breaths, trying not to go over there and punch Melik's face into the inside of his head. He's just like,
Well, having heard this particular fiddle before, Devaney will put in her earplugs and then just wander over to the rest of the group and,
Tuala
just
has
be
no
there.
earplugs and doesn't know what this fiddle is.
Melik is gonna stop playing for a moment and call Devaney out as she wanders across, like, hey, you got tickets to this, you gotta stay here and listen. As it continues.
It's turned into a Guns N' Roses concert.
And of course, Roll20 is being a bollocks for me. So give me a moment. Sorry, Twitch, I gotta jump out so I can grab my notes on Melik's fiddle to see what this is doing here. Because, of course, the one time I need Roll20 to love me tonight, it decides to take a dive. Yes, I know you're unresponsive. I don't want to reset everything, though.
I don't know where it is on it.
Got it. What do you need on it?
How long and what is the save on it? It's been so long since we've actually played the Fiddle of the Mad God.
So there's no save. The deal is that, and I'm not playing with focus, obviously, but so that means I am not necessarily unaffected by this, but all creatures within 60 feet are given movement issues. During the second quote-unquote round of this, all movement is set to 0. And on a success, which is meet 10 plus performance, all listeners have 4 levels of exhaustion and can't move for 24 hours.
Thank you. So, as you all are listening to Melik play this, with the exception of Devaney, as Devaney recognizing this has put in earplugs and didn't warn anybody.
Well, it was
about
too
it.
far away in the beginning, and then by the time I got there, it was too late.
All of a sudden, you all are just... The evening is late. You feel completely exhausted, and as you watch as Melik is continuing to play, you notice as you're heading that way, Devaney, you watch as Solana collapses to the ground. Quen falling next. Tuala falling. And you're not quite sure where Gizzard is. You had heard some chewing coming from the other corpse. But
I might have seen him on
even-
top last time, but I don't know where he ended up.
So as you get a little closer and you hear the chewing stop, and then as you get even closer, you watch Melik still lost in the song for a couple of moments. As even Melik then, the fiddle falls to the ground and Melik falls forward as well. And as you survey the area with all 5 members of your traveling party and these 2 corpses laying on the ground, that's where we'll call an end to tonight's session.
7-8 right now is thinking, I'm never gonna have kids.
With all 5 members of the party, well, 5 out of 6 members of the party comatose on the ground for the next 24 hours.
Just woke up.
I
Well, the next
gotta.
part is you're still conscious. You just can't move.
Oh,
nice.
So you know it's like what they say.
Sleep paralysis.
You're alive when you're eaten. They're alive when they eat you.
gross.
I got a meta question here. Does anyone have proficiency in hairdressing supplies?
No.
Damn it.
I think
It's not really a thing.
I was like, is that a thing?
Could
that's
be.
like
It should be.
Theater.
that's like a
should be.
disguise
It is a
kit,
craft.
isn't it?
Hairdressing is a
Actually,
craft.
surprisingly enough, this has come up in a previous game. It should be.
And
I have
Gizzard wants to make
proficiency
a
in
weave.
disguise. A
Gizzard
weave?
wants a weave out of these snakes. Yeah.
That's
He's gonna
'Cause, you
hang
know-
it from his.
It is literally nothing like fastening rotting snake corpses to your head to say, I've made it in the world.
It'll make me look
Exactly.
more intimidating.
no.
So thank you everyone for hanging out with us this evening. I apologize that our music has stopped as Roll20 has decided to not love me, much like it did not love Michael last week.
Oh, my music's still
So-
playing.
For nothing, you guys enjoyed the music. I can't hear crap. Again, thank you. A big shout out to all of our friends, Many Sided Dice, Nightshade Creations, Team MZ over on Twitter, and
yeah.
our new friend who's been hanging out with us tonight in chat, Dice Bard, Hey It's Core, Digitio, all our regulars. And
D20.
don't forget we have. Say who?
D20. So says Tuala.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Oh, okay.
Then Bloodlust, Commander Root, Decaf, Smurf, Holyut, who else? Electrical Longboard and Skateboard. Hey, Skateboard. Hey, no, Alex and I can't remember which one of you was here first. Oh, you're both here, so we got both of the boards here. Guy to go to V&K, Vigor Pros. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us this evening. Before we disappear, there's something we always do here. Is each week we give out award a D20 to one of the players to use for next week. Thus the reason Solana was able to D20 her, nat 20 her, sorry, not a D20, a nat 20. We give out a nat 20 each week, so for someone for the next week. So if there's anything, we've got a, wow.
I just want to say quickly, thank you so much everyone for all the love on this applications.
yes, thank you.
Your Dragon
Forgot
Heist,
about that.
the new Waterdeep campaign. Unfortunately, I have close-up applications, so it is now officially too late to apply. But I have my work cut out for me because I got 317 applications waiting for me from people to get in on this new game. So, thanks so much for the love. I will have fun going through that. And I should be getting back to people in the next 1 to 2 weeks. It's going to be a lengthy process because I honestly didn't expect this much traffic coming through. So, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I'll be looking to get more information from JJ when we get a little closer to that launch. But we need to decide who gets the nat 20. So chat, let's hear. Who do you think? We've got looks like we have a couple of votes for Devon Mom, Devon End, Devon Open, Devon Please. And then we've got Digitio calling out for Twala's Tiefling Tossing.
That was pretty good.
Gizzard for rodeo and eating stuff.
Oh, there we go.
What
We got a couple of... What about you guys? Anyone in-game got any opinions?
Melik.
I was gonna say
100%
you.
Melik.
I was
Just for
gonna
playing.
say Tuala for the Transport 1 straight back.
And for getting upset at Gizzard at the very beginning as well.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Anyone else in chat? Oh, okay. Never mind. The Devon A thing was a running alphabet joke, not real votes. So we
It only
have,
happened at the end anyway.
I demand a recount.
Fun.
so, we have. Then that leaves us pretty much tied between.
I vote for Devon.
Oh, thanks.
So that gives us.
I
We get a
don't really
couple
deserve
for
it this week
Gizzard
anyway.
and a couple for Melik and a couple for Tuala. You know, Tuala's missing for it, so let's give it to Tuala for this week
Mhm.
for his
Absolutely.
masticated toe and the tiefling tossing.
Ah, that's what you
Yeah,
have to do to
that's
get the
true.
Newtonian around
Yeah.
here.
Yep, you need
Toe
to
chewed
leave
off.
it there. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next week as the party is starting unable to move and with half their total hit points.
It's gonna be real exciting, y'all.
That's my favorite thing.
You know, half their total hit points, disadvantage on all attack rolls and saving rolls, halved speed and disability on ability checks.
It's just an R&R day. We're just taking a day for ourselves.
know?
We're doing
Yeah.
nothing.
Devonade's gonna be
Play
so
the-
bored.
Unless she
t-
has to defend the entire camp from something.
Right.
So
I
is
would
that.
I would so GM roll this so our Twitch chat could know what to look forward to next week if Roll20 would let me.
Or
But
your
looks like
other
we'll have to be
GM
here
was-
next week to
yeah.
find out. So again, thank you everyone for joining by. A quick heads up to both my players that I haven't had a chance to tell them, and to our viewers. While we will be here next week, unfortunately, we will not be here on the 27th, as I have a dental procedure being done that morning, and I have been warned that I go under that morning, and I'll wake up sometime Tuesday. So, as I will be completely comatose, unfortunately, no Tomb of Annihilation on the 27th. Don't forget to check in. We have our Friends Insight check on Saturday nights, the Mystic Hour on Thursday nights. I believe this Thursday they are off, so there is going to be a vodcast run this week. But then Friday we're back with Tomb of Annihilation. Bloody hell, getting excited for next week now. We are back on Friday with Storm King's Thunder with DM Michael. So, I'm confused.
What?
You're pointing at.
Oh, with you and JJ too.
Oh,
You're in Tomb of
I'm like,
Storm
you're
King's
pointing at your
Thunder.
name and Kepler.
No,
I'm so
I'm
confused.
pointing towards you
So yes,
and JJ.
yeah, Friday nights you have Gizzard, JJ Solana and Sarah and myself. You know what? When
So
it's
many
11 and your DM is insane and doesn't add your proficiency bonus to stealth check and get the hell away from him. We all have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Bye, Internet.